Welcome. This session is for you if you want to track your job search automatically and add Git, GitHub, and Docker to your resume skills section. And maybe you want to contribute to open source projects. So the main goal of this session today is to install all the prereqs that you need to run an open source project. And the project that we're using as an example is the one that I am the maintainer for, which is called Just a Job App, or JAJA. And if you're here, you may or may not already be registered for part 2 of the workshop, but if you're not already registered, I highly recommend doing that right now. You can scan it with your phone, register on Luma, because that's where like the meat of the workshop series is, where we'll actually run the job app tracker. So again, this session is just for helping you install everything that's needed, because it can get a little overwhelming. So let's see. So what we're going to do today is first we'll understand how we're going to engage with each other. We'll create a GitHub account if you don't already have that, and we'll take some notes on, there's some special notes for Windows users, lucky people if you are Windows. We'll install Git and Visual Studio Code, Docker Desktop. We'll create a Google OAuth app together, and then we'll leave time for questions at the end. So I do want to note, I love seeing people's faces. So if you would turn your cameras on, I would love that if you're comfortable doing so. No pressure, but I'm sure other people enjoy seeing your beautiful faces as well. Thank you, Adam. And is it Carolina?
Carolina, thank
Carolina.
you.
Okay. Amazing. So next we're going to use the chat to get started. I'm going to give you a prompt and I'll give you a moment to write your answer, but please don't hit send until I say so. So in the chat, please write one thing you hope to learn from this series.
I just want to say quick, I'm going to be driving. I used Git professionally for like 10 years, so
oh, nice. Okay.
I have all the basics down. I'll just be listening and yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. If you already know Git, I don't know like how useful this session will be for you, but maybe towards the end, when we create a Google OAuth app, like that'll be maybe something new.
Yeah, I'd like to share my repo, because if anyone does want to contribute to projects, I have like 1 million projects created on my repo.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. Okay. So if you've written one thing you hope to learn from the series, just hit send in the chat right now. All right, we got Docker. Anybody else? As a front-end dev, my goal is to learn how to use Docker. All right, a lot of Docker. Contribute to open source effectively. Yep. That's great. OAuth. Yep. Yep. Amazing. Getting comfortable with automation and connecting tools effectively. Nice. All right. Thank you all for engaging with me there. It's exciting to see what everybody is looking forward to. And then just want to do a quick check-in, again, using the chat. This is for your own benefit to make a choice about how you want to show up today. So there's no wrong answer. Just type your number and hit send. So basically on a scale of 1 to 10, just give me like a number of how engaged you plan to be today. So 1 is like, I'm here to listen, but I'll be doing other things, driving. 7 is I'm focused and ready to participate and install all the things. Nice. Thanks for the what do you call it? Truthfulness, Micah.
You got it.
Nice. Yeah, thank you, Daniel, for showing up, even though you've already done the process. That is so nice of you. You do not have to be here. Please go take a nap if you need to. All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for engaging with that question. Helps you get into learning mode and helps me know how to best support you all today. All right. So step 1, I guess, create a GitHub account if you do not have one already right now. And if you already have one, I guess maybe it would be nice to know, is there anybody that does not have a GitHub account already and is just going through the process right now? You can give an emoji if this is your first time. Okay. Sounds like people already got it going on. So if you have a GitHub account already, what you want to do is navigate to the repo, which I will link in the chat. So if you go ahead and click on that link, and then you're going to go ahead and there's a button called fork. So you're just going to go ahead and fork that. Any questions so far? And if you are just joining us now, you haven't missed much. We're just setting up our GitHub and forking the repository. So I'm going to assume everybody has forked the repository now. The repository link is in the chat. And let me keep on going then. So again, we're just setting everything up. So this is very cursory overview of everything. Just making sure we got everything installed. All right, so I would love to know if you can write in the chat if you are using Mac, Linux, or Windows. Mac, Linux, okay. Have 1 Windows, 2 Windows. Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if the link was it stayed in the chat. I guess not. So here we go. And again, feel free to turn your cameras on if you like. I enjoy seeing faces, so appreciate all of you that are showing your faces. Yay! Thank you. Okay, perfect. So Windows users, you are special today, and you get to install something else that nobody else needs to install. Let me add the link. Oops, where is... Oh, interesting. This is the first time that I'm using... Oh, wait. We went forward. Okay. Back. Well, just need to learn how to select while presenting. That's an interesting problem. No. Maybe pause. Just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. So if you are on Windows, please go ahead and install that WSL program. And we'll give you a little second to go ahead and do that. Okay. Any of the Windows users having trouble with this? Amelia, I saw you are on Windows. Any trouble with it? Not yet. Were you able to use the PowerShell to install? Okay, great. All right, gonna assume that is going well. And next step is to install Git and Visual Studio Code. So this is for everybody. So that is Git. And then once that is done, make sure you install Visual Studio Code, which is right there. And for the Windows users, make sure you're running, I don't know if that's like, I don't think that makes sense. Ignore what I just said. So install Git, install VS Code. So this is probably a good time to pause while things are downloading. Is there any questions, especially for WSL users, but open to anybody? How are things going with the installs? Maybe give me a thumbs up in the emoji chat thing if things are all good. Sweet. Updating. Okay. Cool. Well, I think those are mostly one click and done things. So we're not going to be doing anything else with Git or Visual Studio Code today. So I think we can move on to get the rest of the prerequisites set up. So next step is to install Docker Desktop. And if I remember correctly, this is a step that might take a little while. So while this is happening, we can move on to other setup processes. And also note for Windows users, there is a particular setting in Docker Desktop, I guess where it says use the WSL2 based engine under settings general. So please note that. If anybody is installing Docker for the first time, can you let me know like how quick it is or if it looks like it's going to take a long time? Pretty sure it can take a while if it's not already installed. But Adam, did you already have it installed previously? Oh, sweet. Okay. I was like, that was so quick. No. Is anybody's installation still going? Okay. Well, we shall head on to the Google OAuth project time. So we're going to be in the Google OAuth area for a little while. So um, maybe now's a good time to like do a little stretch break. Yeah, just, I don't know. All right, got the stretches out. Let's go to console.cloud. Oh, that didn't work very well. console.cloud.google.com. So you probably already have a Gmail or a Google Workspace account, but if you don't, you'll want to create one. That's kind of mandatory for at least the project that I'm helping you install because it connects to your Gmail inbox for the job search tracking. Yes. Yeah, so once you've navigated to consolecloudgoogle.com, make sure to create a new project. And to do that, you select a project in the top left, and then it'll ask you to create. You can select a new project, and then in the project name, you can just put JAJA, and then you don't have to select anything for location. Just leave it as default, and then hit create. And then right after you hit create, it'll prompt you to select the project, so you can go ahead and just select it. And you can ignore steps 6 and 7 for now in this slide. I have some more detailed instructions coming up. And if anybody is having issues, oh, nice. Thank you for the feedback. See, Graham, you put in your, okay, so next step is to enable the Gmail API. So make sure your project that you just created is selected, and then at the search bar at the top, there will be, you can just type in Gmail, and the Gmail API should show up, and just click enable. And then next step is to configure the consent screen. So the correct link here is to go to the credentials page. APIs. So there should be a button where it asks you to configure the consent screen. So like this whole process is just a little weird because technically you're creating this application just for yourself, but it's going to like ask you either you have internal or external audience, and for some reason unknown to me, you need to choose external, even though it's just you logging in because it's your local application. And then when it asks you for user support email, just put your Gmail address, and then contact is your Gmail as well. And yeah, the app name, you can just put JAJA, and then click create. And once you're done with this, if you could just put in the chat, either I'm going too slow or good speed, or if I need to go faster, let me know. Okay, great. All right. So next up is to go to the audience section. I'll put that in the chat right now. So once you get to the audience section, you're going to find the section where it says OAuth user cap, and it'll say test user section, and then it'll have an area to enter your email address. So that's where you will add yourself to the audience. Otherwise, when we're running the app, you won't actually be able to log in, which is the whole point. And don't forget to click save twice, because Google is weird like that. Nice. All right. Oh, step 6. That was configure consent screen. And this was the API's credentials URL. So the only thing that you need to add in here, I think, is configure consent screen, get started, and then add in the app name, which it doesn't really matter, but you can just put JAJA, and then the user support email, and it'll ask you to select internal or external for the audience, and you just select external, and then put in your contact email, which doesn't really matter, but you just need to put in your email. All right. So next step is to add in the scopes. Even though you've authorized yourself to log into the app, if you don't add any scopes to your Google app, then you won't actually be able to do anything other than log in. So let's see, console.cloud. So navigate to the scopes URL and just put it in the chat, and click add or remove scopes. And then there'll be a little, I guess, dialog box with a list of scopes. And you can just search for gmail.read-only and make sure to click on that like menu item that shows up. And then you'll also want to search for OpenID as well as userinfo.email and make sure those are all selected and click update. Any issues with this one? Yes. Feel free to come off mute and ask questions. Oh, no.
Sorry. No, I was just saying, like, give me one moment because I'm not necessarily seeing exactly what you're mentioning, but I'm just taking a second to like look around.
Okay. And also share your screen if you, well, maybe not. Don't want to expose your email.
That's okay. I don't know if I'm being too literal, but when I clicked on the URL, I'm getting, instead of, I mean, it is the URL of scopes, but it's getting data access, and I'm not seeing the add or remove scopes.
Okay, let me see.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, so you're on data access, and then there should be a button, add or remove scopes, within that data access page.
I'm not seeing it, but here I could. I don't know if sharing screen would be.
Okay. Does it, like, it shows data access, right?
Yes.
And is JAJA selected at the top, like with the looks like 3 dots next to the Google Cloud logo?
Yes, but I think, hold on, let me see. I think I know what happened. Let me just confirm. If you want to continue, I could probably figure this out.
No, it's okay. We can help you out and make sure things are working. Yeah, while you're figuring that out, we can go back to step 7. Yeah, so the search part is when you click add or remove scopes, and where it says enter property name or value, you can actually enter Gmail read-only.read, and then it'll pop up with a value, and then you can select that and then click the checkbox. It'll look something. But yeah, don't forget to click update after you've marked things in the checkbox. And then if you're looking at your data access page again, if you've gone through the steps of adding the scopes, then you should see those scopes, like 3 new rows in your scopes. Like I think it should be maybe 1 or 2 non-sensitive scopes and then 1 restricted scope for the Gmail read-only.
Gotcha. So I'm not sure. Sorry, not to interrupt, but I think someone else was also seeing the same thing that I did, and I think I solved the issue.
Oh.
So the thing that was happening is that I had already a previous project. So it took me a while to figure out how to create a new project, and I had been following your steps in the previous project.
Oh, okay.
So then I had to like redo the credentials and all that other stuff.
Gosh.
So now that I'm all caught up, now I see the data access. But if you don't do the credentials, the API, you won't be able to see that. And it makes sense why you did it in those steps.
Okay. Yeah. That is a good point to note next time. Yeah, I started this project with no previous Google OAuth project, so like, yeah, I did not take into account that some people might already have projects that they've created. So thank you for letting me know about that. I'll make sure to update the slides for next workshop. Alrighty. Actually, that was the last step here. So you now have accounts and tools used by developers worldwide, and your environment is ready for part 2, which you should register for if you haven't yet, because that is the meat of what we're going to do, and that's when you will be able to actually see your do your job search tracking through that. Assuming a caveat is the email that you're using to log into the app today, that should be the email that you use for your job search. So if it's not, then we might have to talk about that. Yeah, you can add it as a test user, actually. That would work too. So I guess I'd kind of love to know, is there one thing you know now that you didn't know an hour ago? Feel free to share in the chat or unmute. And if you're super detail oriented, it wasn't an hour ago, it was 43 minutes ago.
Sorry,
Dangerous.
I'm taking the silence. I was gonna say I'm trying to play a little bit catch up, and I was doing the ad scopes. And just a quick question regarding the OpenID. Is that also going to be in the Gmail API, or is that a
No. So the only scope that you're adding in from the Gmail API is the gmail.readonly, and then everything else is not in the Gmail API. Those are just, I think, common scopes available.
Okay, I will look for it.
So actually, like if you clicked on the Gmail read-only checkbox and then click update and then add scope again, you should see OpenID and the user info email on the first page that pops up again.
Okay, hold on. Let me save it, and then I'll do add and remove scopes again. Sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. And then
Did it show up in the first page of results?
yes, it did.
Nice.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the walkthrough.
Yeah, of course.
And did those two?
Sweet. Don't forget to save and click update.
Yes. Just did. Okay, perfect.
All right, amazing. But yeah, Adam is dangerous in the Google OAuth console. Anybody else want to share what's one thing you know now that you didn't know 45 minutes ago? Feel free to share in the chat or come off mute.
I guess I'll just say feeling more comfortable navigating through Google Auth, because Google Cloud is a beast.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. Yeah, the Google API, there's a lot you can do with it. And this project, the job search job app tracker only uses the email API, but there's like, I don't know, 100 other APIs that we could be using, which is crazy. Probably more than that. Maybe 300. I don't know.
Don't even want to know, honestly. Yeah. Pandora's box.
Alrighty. Well, I am so glad that we were able to get through this install and it wasn't rushed. And don't forget to register for part 2. And yeah, if there's any questions that anybody has, I realize I didn't actually do an introduction to myself, so maybe now's a great time to do the intro. So nice to meet you all. My name is Leanna, and again, I'm the maintainer for Just a Job App, or JAJA, and maintainer is just a fancy word for lead developer, I guess, or creator. And that's, I guess, in open source what they call the main person of a project. So JAJA is the first open source project that I've ever contributed to, but I've been a software engineer for about 4 years now, and I was a data analyst for 3 years prior to that, and I'm sure a lot of the libraries that I've used were open source, and so now that I'm actually getting or playing with open source projects myself as a maintainer, it's interesting to kind of look back and notice what are all the other libraries and projects that I've used that have actually also been open source, which open source means just transparent, like code is out in the open. You can see the source code. So that was where you did the forking in the beginning for just a job app. So if you're able to fork a project, that means it's open source. Any questions? Or see the project? Yeah, basically, if you're the maintainer, that makes yes, Micah. Yeah. So yeah, in that sense, if you are here today and you've just installed all these tools and you're ready for part 2, by the end of part 2, you will have actually, I could do a sneak peek actually of what we're going to be doing for part 2. Let's see. Share this tab. So what we're doing in this workshop series is just to get the app running on your computer, but the app actually is live, like on its own website. So this is where it is deployed, and what we're going to be doing for the next part of the workshop series is you'll basically be able to add a little card with your name and your GitHub username and whatever comment you want that is, we'll say, safe for work. And we'll basically be doing like a little mini quest where you'll use Git to, well, you've already forked the repository, but we're going to be doing some stuff in the terminal next time, and we'll actually set up some environment variables and actually get the app running and go through how to do a GitHub pull request. And hopefully by the end of that workshop, I'll have merged all of your pull requests, which means it will get deployed onto this page, which means you should be able to see your face live on the Just a Job app contributors website, which is awesome. Alrighty.
I have a question in regards to contributing to the repo. It seems like you guys have issues. Do you just do them, or do you request, or what's the process to contribute to the repo?
So the current process is if there's an issue that shows up as help wanted, that's something that I've taken the time to kind of like add requirements for and be cleaned up enough that it can go to somebody.
Sure.
But honestly, I do need help, like just like organizing.
Yeah. I did a 6-month stint as an open source maintainer for a nonprofit website. So yeah, it was a lot of, and I didn't like, I did maybe like a year front end development experience. So I guess this was my first like technical lead. So I'd do meetings, create issues, like do all this stuff that was, you know, crazy, but it was a lot of fun. Stressful, but fun.
Yes. Yeah, I'm doing this as a side project, so in my free time.
It's whatever you have in you in that moment, right? Yeah, I get it. I definitely understand.
But I'm super glad to be doing these workshops, just because I think it's super important that open source is not gatekeepy. Because like I think before I created this project, like I didn't really know how to contribute to open source at all, and so that's kind of why I created the project too and made it open source. Like I could have created this app and made it closed source, proprietary, not have the code out there, but I wanted it to be community centered, and especially for job seekers, like you should know the code behind the tools that you're using. So
Makes sense. Cool. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you for sharing. Super appreciate that you made it to the workshop, even though it sounds like you have a lot of experience already.
Oh yeah, but you know, I love. I'm not an expert, obviously. I'm always happy to learn. I'll be the student instead of the teacher.
Amazing. Alrighty. I'll give it another minute if anybody else has questions.
So I do have a random question
Mhm.
regarding the name. I'm Spanish speaking, so for me,
Oh.
like Jaja is like also like HAHA.
Mhm.
So I was just wondering if you were like trying to make light of the whole looking for a job and like not taking it too seriously, or is that just a happy coinkydink?
That's a quinkydink.
Gotcha.
But actually, I did lean into that in my last social media post. I think I said, "Say haha to rejections." So, yeah, you could say haha to rejections.
That's what I thought you were doing, and I don't know. I think Daniel left. Oh no, Daniel was there. He did the haha with an H, and I was like, oh hey, it's with the J now.
Yeah. Oh, you do. That's funny. Oh yeah, on that note, y'all should follow the LinkedIn, because that's I do tend to share a lot of recruiter advice there, because I'm very plugged into everything recruiters are saying these days. So let me, you're looking for better things on your feed. And then let's see what else. That's about it. You're already on the Luma. Oh, I forgot. You should star the repo in GitHub. Oh yeah. Thank you, Daniel. Please join the Discord. We have a Discord that is kind of quiet, but you do get all of the GitHub updates there, so you can kind of see what everybody is up to. And if you have any trouble, what is it? I guess if you're working on a issue and you have questions or just want to like need help with something, I'm usually checking the Discord, so I'm happy to do like pair programming if you just shoot a message in the chat. I can share what that looks like. Where is the Discord? Micah. So if you see, you can see the Discord. So the chat is just general, like everything. I'll put some announcements sometimes, and like I announced the workshop. If you have specific feedback, you're welcome to put it in the give feedback channel. But yeah, I'm trying to use GitHub more than Discord for feedback specific issues, but you're welcome to put it here too if it's easier. And then feel free to also come through here, say hi, introduce yourself. And the GitHub updates is just a stream of everything that's happening in GitHub. So if you're kind of unsure what's happening with a project, this is a good channel to check out. And then I'm also periodically updating the roadmap. So yeah, hopefully this is not too scary and you make it to part 2.
I feel like that's a good question. Like, is it scary? Who's scared? Anybody scared?
I know I can be a little scary.
I feel like with many things, it feels scary because like it's a black box. And then the moment you start seeing how it's all connected, you're like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. Like, now, this seems logical. It's just that confidence boost you need to understand what's going on.
Yeah, that's partly why I split this up into 2 separate sessions, is because I feel like if this was all in one session, it would be so overwhelming and just like too much clicking and you don't know why you're clicking. So it's nice to just slow it down.
Makes sense.
All right. Well, I don't want to keep everybody. Let's end on time, even 1 minute early. Thank you all so much for attending, and I'm super happy that you were able to do this with me. And thanks for showing up and showing your faces. Of course, yeah. And don't forget to join the Discord, which is in the contributor documentation. But I'll see you next week. And yeah, thanks, y'all. Peace out.